It's the adjuvants they're adding that are really going to screw people up. But going back to what you talked about, getting involved and reaching out on the trolls, they don't even hide it anymore. I don't spend a lot of time on this because I'm too busy, but we should do a big report on it. At least 60% of the time on YouTube, I will notice the same people keep commenting in hundreds of my videos every day like it's their job. I mean, I can go to hundreds of my videos and the same guys are there saying the same thing. You go to their YouTube channels and they're in Iraq with machine guns and they admit they work for the U.S. government and they're taking over. So, I mean, these are absolute traitors. Stay there. Look at Jimmy Vaughn. Double Trouble, Fabulous Thunderbirds, all those other great top blues rock and roll bands. He goes to events all over the country for Ron Paul and others. He makes great music, speaking out against the New World Order and Big Brother. And he sings about, I don't want any chains on my family. Look at Muse, one of the #1 rock and roll bands in the world right now. Big fans of this show, endorse this show, wear InfoWars and Terror Storm shirts on international TV, speak out against the New World Order. Glenn Beck endorses them and says that he loves them. They send him a letter and a phone call saying, do not endorse us. We know your New World Order. And maybe we can keep Glenn Beck in line because he says all the right things up to the point he betrays you. And I hate to have to keep going back to Glenn Beck. I just watched some of him yesterday, and it's really scary what he's doing. Same thing with Limbaugh and all these guys. They're exposing Obama, but they're not exposing the Republicans, which are controlled by the same group. And if we don't get past the distractions of the left and right, it's over. But getting back to COINTELPRO, the FBI program that's declassified of how they try to discredit leaders. The system knows that when national TV and print attacks me, that people don't trust the mainstream media. So for most people, that's a badge of honor, a badge of certification that I'm bona fide. But when they have people attack me and lie, and there's hundreds of them, I'm a Scientologist. No, I'm not. Never have been. I work for the Vatican. And I'm not bashing Catholics, but my whole family's Protestant. The Ayers family and others helped found Texas. We're famous Protestants. We came here for the Protestant religion, pushing it in Texas. That's not true. Trying to get Catholics and Protestants to fight with each other. That we're owned by ABC. ABC does not own any of Genesis, owns nothing we're doing, no affiliation other than years ago we leased a satellite, a radio satellite. And, of course, station owners are laughing at this because they know the #1 satellite receiver was an ABC Star Guide. Before that, it was owned by another company. It's the same satellite. Now it's Chancellor or something else. The point is we go lease a satellite. You know, like I have phone service with AT&T. I'm not owned by AT&T. They say that. They lie and say some Saudi Arabian guy owns us because there's some other company called Genesis, and they know full well that's not true. They can go read the incorporation papers of Genesis Communications in Minneapolis, Minnesota. They don't care because they're operatives, and it's one thing to know they're operatives in your gut and to recognize it, but it's another thing to just over time, you see a commenter and they give their handle, and you go to their MySpace, and they're in psych warfare, they're in the military, or they work for the ADL, or they work for a big government group. And now on YouTube, they don't even hide it. They have websites about what online brigade they are countering disinfo. And the Pentagon admits they're doing this, and they're there in their uniforms, and they even do broadcasts in their uniforms with camo behind them saying, I'm a liar and a traitor. And then I find they have dummy accounts, though, that they'll have linked that look like other people. And they're, 8-10 hours a day, you'll see them posting in every video. And it really hits you like a punch in the stomach. Man, the military really is targeting me. They really are that bad. I don't mean the whole military or our troops, but the system. They really have people who think that's freedom to be out there lying about me. And they don't care. They notice like a fishing bait. Oh, a purple worm with a yellow tail's catching black bass right now. Or it's not catching them. I'll go to a black worm with a red tail or a green worm with a pink tail. You know, they'll say, I'm an anti-Semite. Or they'll say, no, I work for Israel. Or they'll say that I said there were space aliens in the Hardin, Montana detention center and mustard gas. I never said that. But they just go and say it everywhere. And then people say, you've got to respond. You've got to talk about this. What is there to talk about? The establishment wants to keep me from covering issues and warning people about the flu shot and the Gardasil shot and the plunging dollar and the police state and the New World Order. Instead of, see, I'm not taxing you. I'm not taking over your bank account. I'm not enslaving you. I'm not injecting you. The elites are, but they want us all to infight with each other instead of ever focusing on them. It's unbelievable, and it's getting worse.